Prowl, transform!
Here's a tip for you. Never ignore a warning from a shark. Now get out of my way, Autobot.
Sideburn, transform!
You choose to ignore my warning? Such insolence and disrespect will not be tolerated.
You'll note here how obsessed Sky-Byte seems to be about his warnings. Again, this is an attribute of the earlier Sky-Byte that took himself far more seriously and considered himself to be a significant threat. Later episodes will make this scene seem very weird indeed. Also, a neat little feature you'll notice with Sideburn is that you can actually see his gun attached to him at his waist, behind him. This is actually where the gun is stored on the toy. For those of you wondering why I keep mentioning the accuracy here and there, you have to remember that prior to Robots in Disguise, Beast Machines had come out. And Beast Machines was infamous for being the least toy accurate of any Transformer series ever. Now, a lack of accuracy between the show models and the toys is not at all uncommon in Transformers. It's plagued the franchise since the very beginning. Just look up a picture of the original Ironhide and a picture of his toy, and you can see the remarked difference. Nevertheless, this is actually typically rarer. Most show models are at least based off the toy, and if there is an alteration, it's usually an attempt to make the show model appear better, to appear cooler, or more realistic, better proportioned. It's usually meant to be an improvement. Beast Wars also followed this. The show characters were heavily based off of their toy appearance, modified to fit the particular style of the CGI art. But nevertheless, if you picked up a Beast War toy, you could generally recognize it as the Beast War character. Beast Machines basically threw all of this out the window. And the people who made the toys and the people who made the show basically didn't collaborate at all beyond perhaps the very earliest concept sketches. I have no idea why it was done this way. Probably the time Hasbro just didn't think that it mattered, or just decided that it didn't matter, and that fans wouldn't care. They were, of course, wrong. And part of the backlash against Beast Machines was the inaccuracy of the show and toy models to each other. I think this carried over, despite the fact that Car Robots is Takara backed. I think they, if you will, almost overcompensated by making darn sure that the show character models were as accurate as possible to the toy characters. Hence why much of the features that you see on the show model, such as X-Brawn's head actually being in his SUV's cabin, are accurate to the toy. An attempt to win back some of what they had lost with the fans. I actually do appreciate when the models are accurate to the toys. It definitely is always cool to see little features like that.
Well, it's been fun playing with you two, but recess is over. Shark missile! Happy motoring!
Come back here!
Again, here we see a bit of the crossover. The Transmetal 2 Cyber Shark was capable of firing missiles from his mouth when in vehicle mode. Technically, you could probably do this in beast mode as well, but obviously you aren't meant to. But here we see where Sky-Byte has kind of a hybridization of his beast mode and vehicle mode, and is able to fire his shark missiles while in beast mode. In fact, Sky-Byte is treated as a genuine threat in this episode. Not only is he capable of fighting two Autobot brothers at once, but he can do it while in beast mode. And his shark missiles are explosive enough or have some unusual feature that actually apparently forces the Autobots back into vehicle mode, allowing him to escape. Well, a pity he does not retain this competency throughout the series.
Ha-ha! That's the car slapper! We found it!
I must be dreaming. Either that or I should be put in the nearest nut house.
Gotcha! We did it! We got the car!
Careful, you clumsy fools! One false move and that device will detonate and blow all of you into oblivion! I shall take it to Megatron. Now hand it over to me.
It's ours! We found it and we're taking it in! Get going, guys! Let's go!
Get out of my
Yeah!
Now, Well, you'll note I said the Predacons, the Three Stooges, did seem like they were afraid of Sky-Byte. They are not as afraid of him as Megatron, clearly. And I actually do like this little bit here in Robots in Disguise. Predacons always squabble amongst themselves and always try to take the credit. Beast Wars showed this quite well, and so Robots in Disguise, it's nice to see them at least neutralizing a little bit of that. The Three Stooges, you see, are essentially a team. They don't really squabble amongst themselves all that much, but Sky-Byte to them is an outsider. They're quite happy to swoop in and steal the goods and take credit for it back at the base with Megatron.
That's no way to carry a bomb! Shaking it like that could cause it to detonate! Now hand it over and I'll fly it to the command center!
Hey, you're not the only one who can fly, Tuna Breath. Take it, Darkscream. Good thinking, Gas Skunk. Adios, Overbite.
Now note here, the show does refer to Darkscream as being able to fly. This is something that Robots in Disguise apparently can't quite make up its mind about, since other episodes he will claim that he cannot fly, although perhaps he's bluffing. Now, Darkscream referring to Sky-Byte as Overbite is meant as an insult, but it's interesting to note that is also the name of a Transformer, who is also a shark. One of the Seacons, I believe, unless it's one of the Terracons, I think it's a Seacon, is a shark with legs and arms, not unlike a Sharkacon, who is indeed called Overbite.
I just know I'll wake up any second!
I've got the bomb!
My beautiful red sports car. Don't worry, I'll save ya.
Now that I've got the device, I have to deliver it to Megatron!
Oh no, my beautiful sports car is gone. Prowl, transform. Don't worry, I've got you. Sorry, ma'am. I do apologize for the inconvenience. Are you all right?
For someone who's been attacked by a giant flying squirrel and a huge toad, a maniacal shark and a monstrous skunk, sure, I'm just fine.
Now here again is one of those weird things about Sideburn's flirting. It seems like he has trouble distinguishing between the human and the car, because he acts like he's here to save the car, deliberately clearly saves the human, and then seems disappointed and actually drops her. Again, you can see why Sideburn is not really anyone's favorite character, especially in these early episodes. Now here's where the whole Robots in Disguise concept seems to break down. Now, Kelly here is obviously somewhat traumatized from her recent experiences, but it's going to be difficult to hide your existence when you are catching humans falling out of the sky. Not to mention, he's standing on the highway in broad daylight. You can see the buildings in the background, no doubt filled with humans. How exactly is it that nobody knows these Autobots and Predacons are running around?
This device contains enough power to recharge all our fuel cells. We'll convert its energy as soon as I reach the command center.
Think again, Hoss.
Oh, what the?
This little chunk of energy's going with me.
You clumsy Autobot! Now that you've handled it so roughly, the device has armed itself! Ha! Thanks to your own heavy-handed clumsiness, you're gonna have to give the device back to me! You really have no other choice!
Says who?
It could go off any second. It won't be dangerous if I fly away with it, but if you keep it, the whole city could be destroyed.
I didn't roll off the assembly line yesterday. You just want it back so the Predacons can suck out the energy.
I have a feeling it's gonna get real unhealthy around here in a minute or two. What do you say we get out of here, boys?
You know, that's the best idea I've heard all day.
Hey, when you're right, you're right. Every Predacon for himself! Dude, I got a bad feeling about this. Yeah, if what Sky-Byte says is true, thousands of lives are in danger. We've got to get that bomb away from the city, but we're almost out of time. X-Brawn, you've got to take that bomb someplace where the explosion will do the least amount of damage.
I won't have time to get very far, and we're right in the middle of the city. Where should I take it? Any suggestions?
Take it to the top of the highest structure you can find. The higher it is, the less damage it'll do.
The highest structure? Right. I'm on my way.
Yeehaw!
Ride him, cowboy! Here we go!
Now, in keeping with his off-road personality, here we see X-Brawn, frankly, web-slinging throughout the city. I have no idea why he's doing this instead of driving it. I don't see it that this is at all safer for the explosive device. This grappling hook feature of X-Brawn does pop up from time to time in the show. but he doesn't use it very often.
What he's doing is awfully dangerous. Where is he going with that thing?
He's trying to get to the top of that radio tower. Do you have any idea how tall it is?
500 feet.
Then we better start thinking about a plan B.
Made it! Now I just gotta get up to the top.
It's no use. Even at this height, it will destroy the city, so hand it over.
He's right, X-Brawn. If that thing goes off at 500 feet, the city will be demolished. In order to save the city, you're gonna have to take that thing a whole lot higher, like into the stratosphere, or maybe even farther.
Of course. That's the answer.